What's up, everybody? My name is Godzi, and welcome back to another episode of Corpse Party Book of Shadows. Last episode, we began Chapter 3, Encounter, and I don't know how it's going to have so many goddamn endings, but we're following Miss Shishido right now, from her school days. And we actually have a choice, so, yeah. I'm not really sure which is the right option, but I'd assume we gotta leave as soon as possible. Okay, I really don't have time to play around right now. I should get out of here. I decided it would be best to put my yearnings aside and leave the classroom behind. Well, that particular wonder turned out to be nothing at all, it seems. Guess it's all just superstition. I couldn't believe I'd gotten all indignant with Tsukasa over something so trivial. Thinking about it now, it seemed kind of ridiculous. Alright, time to head home. I have to get to bed early so I'll be ready for tomorrow. With this in mind, I walked toward the classroom door and took one step out into the hall. When suddenly... Huh? Oh, was that the wrong answer then? Ah! The door slid shut on its own with incredible force, and my neck was trapped in the narrow opening that remained. Are you fucking kidding me? I dug my nails into the door, frantically trying to open it back up. But the more I pushed on it, the more it pushed back, further constricting my neck. I was flailing my limbs, twisting and contorting my body, trying everything I could to escape. Why? 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 My neck was clamped tightly. I could feel the blood rushing to my head. I couldn't breathe. Opening my mouth in terror, I stuck my tongue out as if trying to swallow the air. Forcefully shaking my head left and right, I swiveled my body to face the ceiling. That's when I saw the tall, pitch-black silhouette of a person. A silent scream squirmed its way out of my throat, but the door was still pressing onto my neck. I can't... Tsukasa! Dun 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 dun. Snake! Snake! Fucking hell. My vision whirled and I felt a sensation of falling. At the same time, a lukewarm liquid began pouring over my face. What? As I was struggling to make sense of what was happening to me, the door that had been violently crushing my neck quietly slid open. The floor of the schoolhouse came down hard on my head. My vision had gone white and begun blurring, but I could still see. I can see my body. I was rolling across the hallway, and there, in the doorframe, I caught sight of my own headless torso collapsing in a heap on the floor. What just happened? The last thing I saw out of the corner of one bloodshot, unfocusing eye was the familiar figure of the old woman from this morning. That was so dumb. Imagine getting decapitated by a door. Well, I got a wrong end. Literally, yep, that's the first one. Holy shit, and there's supposed to be... How many more wrong endings than that? 4? That was so stupid. But, whatever, load the game again. And this time I won't fuck up, because apparently leaving the room causes you to get decapitated. Should I or shouldn't I? I'm gonna. How can I pass this up? It's a chance to feel like a real teacher. I decided I had to try it. During daily cleanup and such, I'd come and gone from the spot countless times. But this was the first time I'd ever had an opportunity to just stand here and preside over the classroom. So, this is how it looks to a teacher, huh? It's kind of awe-inspiring. Gaining a teacher's point of view in the most literal sense was starting to get me really fired up. It may seem silly now, but this was my stage. This was where all my dreams would play out. Someday. I began to imagine the future that awaited me, painstakingly detailing some new piece of knowledge for students sitting attentively at their desks. Gliding chalk across the board, filling it with information to aid them in their studies. I sure hope I can make the cut one of these days. I was getting so excited that even I began to think my behavior was a little strange. Maybe it was the juxtaposition of these joyous, freeing visions and the prickling dread I'd been feeling up until just a minute or two before. But then, in the blink of an eye, one of these two conflicting emotions completely overpowered the other. Huh? Crap, is this a blackout? It makes both feel like a fucking wrong end. Suddenly my surroundings were bathed in darkness. Going stiff with shock, I stumbled back a step. My back struck the blackboard with a dull thud. What awful timing! I instinctively grabbed hold of the rail where the eraser sat. I felt chalk dust against my fingertips. My panicked heartbeat was making it difficult to breathe. Was this caused by the thunderstorm? If so, it sure picked a fine time to turn the lights out on me. And what's more, I can still hear the sound of the organ. But no, it's an electric organ. How is that even possible with no power? You must not go! Was this what the old woman was trying to warn me about? That's impossible. She was no fortune teller or psychic, as far as I was aware. How could she possibly have known this would happen? Even though she apparently kills us in that wrong end. Hell, even if she were a fortune teller or a psychic, predicting the future is the stuff of science fiction. I shook my head. I need to calm down. Maybe it's just this wing that lost power and the music room is still okay. That seems plausible, right? I curled my chalk-dusted fingers into a fist and silently tried to talk some sense into myself. I've got to get out of here. I shouldn't have been playing teacher. I should have been in and out by now. Cursing myself a little, I fumbled my way through the darkened classroom. Heck! I'd spent so much time in here, you'd think I'd be able to find my way out of it with my eyes closed, as it were. But sadly, that wasn't the case. Smashing loudly into a desk, I knocked it on its side and began tumbling after it, instinctively grabbing at other desks around me for support. Oof! Damn it. Sounds like I knocked a lot of stuff out of that desk. Guess I'll need to put everything back. Still fumbling around blindly, I gathered up all the scattered notes, textbooks, and writing utensils. Ugh, I can't tell what's what. This is so embarrassing. What the heck am I doing anyway? Wasn't I supposed to be hurrying home? I'm such a klutz. I let out a sigh. I seem to be doing that a lot lately. Okay, this is a textbook, and this is a notebook, right? I was trying to take inventory of all the things I knocked out of the desk, then realized, why? I might as well just stand it up and stuff it all back in. I couldn't possibly organize it properly in absolute darkness. Better just to apologize tomorrow to whoever sits here. Not that that was a particularly pleasant prospect. Explaining what I'd done wouldn't be easy, and no matter how I sugarcoated it, it would serve as a clear indication of my clumsiness. If I didn't say anything, it's not like I'd be found out, but that would be the same as lying, as far as I'm concerned, and I couldn't do that. Okay, I think I got everything. I placed my hand against the floor and swept it around, feeling for anything I might have missed. And I found something, alright. Ew, gross! What is this? It's all slimy. Ugh. I quickly brushed my fingers across something, but I had no idea what. It was no notebook or writing implement, though, that's for sure. Why would anybody have something like this in their desk? Maybe it had been on the floor all along. What is this stuff? I rubbed my sticky fingertips a bit deeper into the wet spot, then brought my hand up close to my face so I could get a better look at what was there. What on earth did I just touch? Blood. Eek! There was a flash of lightning almost immediately joined by a roaring thunderclap. And with it, for a split second, the pitch-black classroom was lit up bright as day. Oh. God, is that blood? I shot to my feet, utterly mortified. In that split second, I'd gotten a very good look at my fingers, and it really did seem as if they were covered in blood. But it wasn't just my hand, no. If my peripheral vision were to be trusted, it looked like the entire classroom was stained a deep, dark crimson. Crap, it kind of smells like blood in here too. Without thinking, I backed away from where I'd been crouching. I tried rationalizing what I saw. How could a whole classroom become a bloodbath like this? Did something spill? Did someone stumble in here injured? This isn't possible. It can't be! I mean, how? My whole body was quaking. I fled from the classroom. Or rather, I tried to flee. What? Why won't it open? No, please no! I don't remember locking it, and it isn't locked. So why can't I get it open? I pulled on the door handle again and again in a frenzy. I was pulling so hard it felt like my fingernails might tear loose. But it just wouldn't budge. Why? Why? Please! I was absent-mindedly grabbing at my hair with one hand, and swinging my fist on a nearby desk with the other. This was a nightmare. Please, no. What is going on? Silence saturated the inky blackness of the room. I took several deep breaths in an effort to restrain my pounding heart. Calm down. I have to calm down. I'm probably just panicking because the door won't open. I'm sure I just misidentified whatever that is on the floor. I mean, it's preposterous, right? There's no way something like that could be. I was certain that when I saw what it actually was come morning, it'd end up being something totally random, like someone's old soda-stained gym clothes. That has to be it. Yeah, I probably just brushed against somebody's paint for art class or something. My imagination was running wild because I was panicking. And the door probably just has something caught in it, that's all. I decided to check out that hypothesis by feeling my way across the door and determining if anything was jutting out from any of the cracks. Damn, not sure I can do this without being able to see. I fumbled around the gaps in the door, but I just couldn't make anything out that would be doing this, and the classroom's rear exit seemed like a world away. Maybe there's another way out of here. No, this was the 3rd floor. I couldn't get out of this classroom without exiting into the hallway. Let me out. I want out! Still at a loss, I noticed a sudden flash of light through the hallway window. But the glass was only translucent, so I couldn't be sure of its source. Is somebody out there? Then there came the distinctive clomp, clomp, clomp of footsteps. Oh, of course! It must be the custodian! I recalled the existence of a custodian who always patrolled the school grounds. I was sure he must have been taking a look around after the sudden power outage. Great, I'm saved! All at once, my fear-addled legs regained their strength. This nightmare would soon be over. Excuse me! I shouted to the custodian through the window as loudly as I could muster. Excuse me! I'm trapped in here! I had to be sure he heard me. I shouted again. Finally, I could see the light out in the hallway again, and it seemed to be getting closer. However, something's not right about this. Perturbed, I took a step away from the window. If that's a flashlight, shouldn't it be brighter? Kind of looks like the faint, unearthly glow classically attributed to spirits, was what I was thinking. I tried to stop myself from finishing that thought, however. Dullness aside, it also looked like it was wriggling around in a very unnatural, very unflashlight-like way. And these footsteps. Clomp, 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 clomp. 4 clomps, then a 3 or so second interval, then another 4 clomps. They were sounding in a fixed rhythm. That's no custodian. Nobody walks like that. The fear was back, in full force. I had to find somewhere to hide. What if I'd accidentally summoned something inhuman? I mean, whatever that was, I begged it for help. I literally invited it in. I need to hide, but where? Oh, great. Time to save again. Let's see. Okay, let's think rationally. Teacher's podium, supply locker. They always get found in the teacher's podium whenever they hide in anime, so I'm gonna choose the supply locker. I hurriedly squeezed myself into the metal locker where the classroom's cleaning supplies were kept. I mean, yeah, that's a corner, but whatever. It was still pitch black in the room, so I really couldn't spare the time it would take to remove its contents. Instead, I just contorted myself to fit. Ugh! The locker was thick with the smells of mold and varnish. If I can hold my breath for just a little while, I think I'll be safe in here. So I waited. I waited for the footsteps to pass by and fade into the distance, signaling that it was safe to emerge. Whoever it is had better hurry. I feel like I'm going to suffocate if I'm in here much longer. Still, it felt a lot safer in the locker than it did out in the room. But the footsteps weren't receding, they were just getting louder, closer, faster. Oh great, we fucked up. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat, ratata! 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 Ratat-it. And then they came to a sudden halt. Huh? They were close, just outside the locker. I fucked up! I peered through the ventilation holes. Amidst the utter darkness of the classroom, there wasn't a soul to be seen. I'm okay. As long as I stay in here, I'll be fine. I'm not sure why I believed that. Maybe because I needed to. Maybe because it was so dark, or because I felt so much calmer in such a tight space where nothing could possibly sneak up behind me. I didn't know why, and I didn't care. I just knew that, as far as I was concerned, I was safe in here. So I stood, motionless and cramped, and I waited. I didn't have to wait long. What was that? Sounds like a door locking. Suddenly apprehensive, I gently nudged the supply closet door, just to make sure it would still open for me when I wanted it to. Oh no, it's locked! Found you. It's probably Yoshie, I'd assume. Right? Or maybe, probably the old woman, actually. I let out a sudden yelp at this, okay, unknown voice, so it's probably Yoshie. I doubt it'd be Sachiko. What with all that shit about, like, oh, Yoshie after school. And tried with all my might to push open the door, blocking my escape. No, please, let me out! Let me out! Is somebody still here? Yep, it's Yoshie. You'll need to be punished for that. Huh? There was a brief moment of silence following the eerie voice's unsettling proclamation. And then, crash, crunch. The metal walls around me, on all four sides, began warping inward as if the supply locker had somehow been fed into a trash compactor. Great, we're gonna get crushed to death. Ow! What's going on? There was no force. I could imagine that should have been able to do this. But it was happening. This already confined space was steadily closing in on me. No! It hurts! Open the door! Let me out! I'm so bad at this chapter, aren't I? Crash, crunch. The collapse of the locker all around me continued, slowly and steadily. I could feel all manner of things pushing and cutting into my body. My vision went bright red. One of the blood vessels in my eyes probably burst from the pressure. I wasn't going to last much longer. The ventilation holes in the locker were now pressed right up against my face, and through them I could just barely make out the figure of a person. It was the old woman from this morning. She was standing just outside the slat, staring right into my eyes. It was the last sight I would ever see as the locker finally, inevitably, smashed in my skull. Crash, crunch, crack, splat. I suck at this. I got a wrong end. Well, fuck. That's 2. Wrong end 2. So, it was the teacher's podium. I need to think even more logically. Meaning, don't think, just choose. Because Jesus. Obviously, leaving the room faster means that I'll survive. No, I get beheaded by a door. Obviously, hiding in the locker is safer. No. Alright, teacher's podium. I hurriedly hid myself beneath the teacher's podium. I grabbed my knees, curled up, and made myself as small as I could. What is this? What's happening? The footsteps continued to draw nearer and nearer. Clomp, 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 clomp. Little by little, the sound grew louder. Every hair on my body was standing on end. Please just pass by, please! I held my breath, clasped my hands together, and silently prayed. Clomp, 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 clomp. They were close now. Very, very close. Please, God! Why was this happening? I couldn't make any sense of it. I just wanted it to be over. I prayed to God that it would end. Was this what the old woman was trying to warn me about? Was this all happening because I ignored her? Because I didn't take the paper doll from her? Was it because I'd heard the ghost story of Yoshie and allowed it to get to me? Or did the strange events of the day have nothing to do with what was happening to me now? Feels like my heart is going to burst out of my chest. I was still holding my breath. I didn't dare let even the tiniest of sounds escape and give away my position. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap. The consistent rhythm of the footsteps suddenly ended halfway into one of its cycles. And it ended right in front of this very classroom. Oh boy. I had goosebumps up and down my arms and legs. I stopped praying and clasped my hands over my mouth. I knew I'd scream if I didn't. Could this be Yoshie? Was the school legend real? All I could do was close my eyes, keep my mouth shut, and hope that whoever or whatever this was would just go away. But the footstep sounds didn't start again. If this was indeed Yoshie, then she'd stopped in front of the classroom and was just standing there. I had no concept of time anymore. I stayed in my hiding spot for what was probably only a few minutes, but felt like at least an hour. Maybe whoever it was is gone. I decided to carefully peek out from under the podium. I gingerly edged my head out just far enough to get a glimpse of the room, when suddenly... Huh? The footsteps rang out once more. It sounded like they were headed right for me, but they might have been inside the room. I honestly couldn't tell. I scrambled back into my hiding spots and covered my mouth with both hands. This was too much for me. My breathing was coarse and erratic, and my face was a mess of tears and snot. God, please save me! I was inconsolable. The footsteps just wouldn't stop. What on earth were they doing? It almost seemed like they were running around in circles just to scare me. Now I'm thinking of just fucking Link from Breath of the Wild running around in circles. Just sprinting in a circle. Why is that so fucking entertaining to me? Stop it! Please, stop it! I mouthed these words over and over again, and moved my hands to my ears in a vain attempt to block out this torturous sound. Link, stop it! And as if in response, the sound changed. Eek! It was a loud, dull thud, followed by silence. No more footsteps. I'd heard that sound hundreds of times before. It was the classroom door sliding open. I peeked out, but that door was still tightly shut. How could that be? If the sound I heard wasn't the door, then what was it? What little safety I'd felt here was pretty much gone. But to be fair, I wasn't absolutely certain the spirit had seen or heard me either. The prospect of stepping out into the open wasn't a desirable one, but I had to decide if it was better to stay where I was or to make a break for it. Oh my fucking god. Okay, let's think through this logically. If I stay hidden, Yoshie could just come and kill us, and if I make a break for it, Yoshie could just come and kill us. Well, shit. This seems less obvious, but granted, oh my god, one's right, the other's wrong. So if I stay hidden, that's what I've been doing. What seems like the obvious answer? Stay hidden is what I would do, because I'd be too pussy shit. But I also would have fucking left the room immediately and tried to get the hell out of there. And I also would have tried to hide in the locker as opposed to the podium, so I guess I suck. Staying in one place for too long seemed like it would be inviting trouble, so I took a deep breath and reluctantly crawled out as quietly as I could. But almost immediately I felt something. Tap. Something long and thin had struck me in the back of the head. Perhaps struck isn't the right word. There was a little force behind it, but it wasn't a hard slam, more like someone trying to get my attention. Is that a wooden rod? Or no, it's a finger? I knew I wouldn't like what I was going to see, but I had to face whatever this was, so I turned around. And there, looming over me, was... Is somebody still here? God, I suck at this. Go home, child. A figure was peering down at me from above the podium, with one emaciated, wishbone-like finger extended toward my face. I recognized this person instantly. No doubt about it. This was the strange old woman who'd supposedly passed away earlier. Oh, it's her. Ah! That woman isn't Yoshie, right? I was scared out of my mind. I tumbled the rest of the way out from under the podium and shot to my feet. A ghost! There really was a ghost in the school. My breathing was ragged and my heart was pounding so hard I thought it might explode. Plowing through all the desks in my way, I ran as fast as I could toward the classroom door. But that was as far as I could go. What's wrong? Oh, yep, that is her figure. There on the other side of the door, tied up against the glass, was the old woman. She was glowing bluish-white, the source of the light from earlier. But how in the world did she get to the door before I did? How did she get out of the room so quickly, and position herself so perfectly to block my exit? I felt so like I was starting to hyperventilate, and tried as best as I could to calm my breathing as my eyes darted about the room. I need to get out of here now, to get as far away from this place as I possibly could. If the front door is blocked, maybe I can get out through the back. But if I do that, I can't leave the school without running right past her. There's no way she'd let me by, but I have to do something. I bit my lip and continued scanning the room. Something. I just had something I could use to fight back. I didn't have time to think carefully about it. I just had to grab something and hope for the best. There were two choices, and I had to pick one on impulse before it was too late. Fuck! Oh my god. I actually made the right choice. Broom or bag of salt? Bag of salt, yes. This looks like leftover salt from an old chemistry experiment. I'd heard that salt was used in purification rituals, so it seemed like a natural choice. Okay, this is coming with me. I placed the salt in my pocket as a sort of protective charm. I'm scared, but, well, here goes nothing. When I looked over, the spirit of the old woman was holding out her hand from the other side of the door frame. She really was trying to catch me. I wasn't just being paranoid. She was going to kill me and turn me into a ghost like her. I was convinced. This had to be Yoshie, the teacher from that urban legend. No, I won't let her get me. Bracing myself, I darted toward the door at the back end of the classroom. There wasn't a moment to lose. If I didn't act fast, I probably wouldn't be able to act at all. I threw the door open and just began running at top speed, hoping to escape behind the spirit's back. Unsurprisingly, trying to outrun a ghost proved to be a fruitless endeavor. The spirit saw me and moved at a breakneck speed to intercept. Stop! Don't come any closer! I thrust my hand into my pocket and withdrew the bag of salt, then threw the entire thing directly at the old woman's face. Pocket salt! Ah! She recoiled. Now's my chance! I ran down the hall as fast as my legs would carry me, briefly glancing over my shoulder after a moment to confirm that the spirit was still writhing. I just kept on running down that dark hallway, with nothing but adrenaline and mortal fear to keep me going. I reached the stairwell at the end of the hall and made a mad dash toward ground level. I was determined to get out of this building alive. Stop! Finally, still moving at top speed, I reached the window door leading outside. Almost there. I'm almost out! Luckily, the malevolent spirit hadn't caught up to me yet. It actually seemed like I might be able to escape. I might actually survive this. I made it. I grabbed the handle and tried pulling it. Huh? No. No, it's not opening! Why? Why? I'm so close! Please, please open! I'm begging you! I have to think of something else. At this rate, that horrible woman's going to... No, I can't let that happen. But what do I do? What can I do? I have to save quickly. Okay, break the glass. Oh, hey! Putting my thoughts in order, I came to the sudden realization that I was right near the umbrella racks. Unless the spirit had taken it or something, my umbrella should still have been right where I'd left it. Aha! Here it is! I practically tackled the rack, grabbing my umbrella in one swift motion, not from the handle, mind you, but from the top. Then, taking aim at the glass part of the door, I swung as hard as I could, smacking it dead center with the sturdy plastic handle. Yeah! The glass wasn't going to break so easily, of course, but it did crack, giving me the impetus I needed to go in for a second hit. Is that how you pronounce that word? Break! Damn you! Break! Again and again I struck the glass. I had the umbrella gripped so tightly that the metal skeleton of the canopy was leaving indentations in my skin. I was sure there had to be a better way to do this, but I didn't have the luxury of time to figure out what it might have been. Stop! You must not leave! She's coming this way! I began smacking the glass even harder, even faster. My hands were killing me, but this was my only hope of survival. Finally, after far too much effort. Yes, I did it! The glass shattered onto the floor, making one hell of a sound. Tepid air whooshed in from outside. It was still pouring rain, but I was free now. Free to escape this hellhole. Okay. The pane I'd broken was on the lower half of the door, and I didn't care if I cut myself. I got down on my hands and knees, and I crawled like mad. I did it! I'm almost outside! I can actually escape! I'm safe! I felt triumphant. For a brief moment, the fear was gone, and I was basking in my victory over this malevolent entity. Huh? But it didn't last long. Before I was even halfway through the door, I felt something coiling itself around my arm. With a start, I looked back. Hi, Yoshie! You mustn't go outside. Eek! A tall, shadowy figure had appeared behind me in the entranceway, and she had me in her grasp. There wasn't much more to her than an indistinct, flickering silhouette, but I could clearly see she had a broken neck. Was this a different apparition? Her scraggly, root-like fingers were squeezing my arm with tremendous force, pushing aside muscle and tissue and pressing right on the bone. No! What are you? Where are you going, my dear? I'll just be a little longer, so won't you please wait for me? That hurts! That really hurts! I was shaking hysterically and tears were streaming down my face. I was absolutely convinced that I was going to die here. Let go of me! Sachi? I could offer no resistance. She was too strong. All I could do was plead with her. Stop, please! You're really hurting me! I felt like my arm would snap in two at any moment. Let's be together forever. She wasn't just grabbing, but twisting as well. The pain was unlike anything I'd ever experienced before. I couldn't think about anything else. My mind was absorbed by the unconscionable agony. I was right! Cause... Hi, Tsukasa. I'd assume I was right, otherwise I don't think you'd show up to help me. Shishido! Tsukasa? I thought my arm was about to snap off, and then all of a sudden I was whisked away. Whisked away by Tsukasa. You okay? Why? Tsukasa? No time to explain, we have to run. What? Tsukasa was still holding on to me tightly after saving me from the brink of death. He led me back into the school at an incredible speed. Damn it, what the hell was that thing? Please tell me I'm just dreaming. He practically spit these words as he continued running. Why is Tsukasa here? I tried to match his gait, and once we were a bit more in sync, I looked up at his face. After we'd reached the end of the hall, he suddenly veered into the last classroom before the stairwell, pulling me in with him. Shishido, you okay? I'm fine. I can walk by myself, really. Oh, sorry, my bad. I moved away from Tsukasa and almost immediately spilled onto the ground like a house of cards. Whoa, you sure don't seem okay to me. Maybe not, but I just need a few... Hey, don't push yourself. Tsukasa grabbed my arm to help me up. Unfortunately, it was the arm Yoshie had been twisting. Oh, sorry. Is it your arm that's hurting you, then? Yeah. I don't know how bad it is, but it really stings like it's on fire. I dropped my other hand over the sore spot, where I assumed there was probably one hell of a bruise. I started rubbing gently, but it didn't help at all. That's not good. We should get you to the nurse's office right away, then, and take care of it. But then we'll be... exposing ourselves to that ghost again, right? Yeah. Just thinking about going back out there and facing Yoshie made me shudder. I couldn't believe he was even entertaining the idea. Don't worry. Even if she does come to get us, I'll keep you safe no matter what, okay? Tsukasa. Tsukasa's gentle reassurance actually made me forget the pain in my arm for a moment. I had to stop myself from blushing, or try to at any rate. We need to treat your injuries as quickly as possible or they could get worse. The nurse may not be in, but I can at least apply first aid. Okay. Alright then, let's go. Tsukasa offered me his hand, and I graciously took it, squeezing it tightly as he led me back out into the hallway. Tsukasa's hand. It's so warm. Despite the fact that nothing had really changed, I was still in just as much danger as I had been. The paralyzing fear I'd been feeling was gone. If it were just me, I would have never been able to do this. I would have frozen up, but with Tsukasa leading the way, I felt like I could do anything. Shishido, are you okay to run? Sure. With my blessing, Tsukasa upped his pace significantly. Please don't let her show up! I prayed silently for smooth sailing as I followed Tsukasa's lead. As long as he's with me, I think I'll be okay. I gently squeezed his hand again, as if to reassure myself that he was still with me. I was starting to think maybe Yoshie was gone. Maybe we'd thwarted her. But of course, just as I was thinking that, she made her presence known again. Ape! Eep! What the hell was that? Show yourself! An unearthly voice reverberated through the dark corridor. I immediately drew myself into Tsukasa's back. Bring me more. Oh god, it's Hino Enma. Oh, there's your sprite. Bring more men to me! Over Tsukasa's shoulder, I saw the same shadow-like figure from before. It must have been waiting here to ambush us. Ah! It's alright, stay calm! But... The ghost was moaning and wavering before us. We'd never be able to get past it. You'll do anything for me? Hey, Shishido. Yeah? I'm going to draw that thing's attention. While it's distracted, I want you to run. What? No way! We'll run together! I've got a secret weapon. What? It's a keepsake charm my grandmother gave me. When I pointed at that thing earlier, it definitely had an effect. A charm? Yeah. But Tsukasa, you'll still be putting yourself right in harm's way. I'll be fine. It'll all work out somehow or another. That's not... Stay where you are. We really didn't have time to be arguing. It was closing in fast. And as it did, I noticed the spirit's figure had become more defined. She was a tall, young woman with her head turned sideways at a 90-degree angle. The tale of Yoshie suggests she fell down a flight of stairs, so a broken neck would certainly fit. Go! Run! He gave my back a shove to get me started, and with no time to object, I unconsciously obliged. Tsukasa ran too, darting ahead of me for a few short moments. Hey, ghost lady! Over here! Stop! Tsukasa! Tsukasa ran as close as he possibly could to get Yoshie's attention, then turned tail and began sprinting off in the opposite direction. Come get me, you monster! Amazingly, it worked. The spirit began chasing Tsukasa, leaving me completely unobstructed. This doesn't feel right. Should I really escape without him? I was torn. On the one hand, I knew this was my best chance, but I couldn't help worrying about what would happen to Tsukasa if his charm failed. I stopped for a moment and glanced over my shoulder. He was still running, and the shadowy figure was still in hot pursuit. Tsukasa, she's way too close! You need to take out your charm! It's fine, I told you to keep going! Once you're out of harm's way, I'll be right behind you, I promise! I still can't believe I fell for it, but this was right about when I realized the truth. Tsukasa had no protective charm. He just made that up so I wouldn't object too strongly to him serving as decoy while I got away. No, I can't let him go through with this! I stopped in my tracks and shouted at the top of my lungs. Yoshie, hold it right there! I wasn't sure exactly what I was getting myself into, but I had to do something, and calling the spirit's name definitely seemed to have an effect. That's right, I know your name. Shishido, what are you doing? All at once, the black figure was facing me. Though I never saw her turn around, she was flying toward me now, ignoring Tsukasa. I'm not scared. 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 I repeated this like a mantra and stuck one hand into my pocket, grasping tightly onto the one and only item I'd stashed there. So you know who I am, then? Unlike him, I have a real protective charm. Tsukasa's care, his effort, his beliefs, they were all packed into this pencil. And when you get right down to it, that's what a charm is, right? I squeezed the nubby little thing in my pocket, mentally preparing myself for the confrontation ahead. The confrontation I'd impulsively initiated. Shishido, you have to run! I won't. I absolutely will not. God, please, protect me. I closed my eyes, lifted my hand from my pocket, and brandished Tsukasa's pencil intently. The gauntlet had been thrown. I was putting a lot of faith into this, and I really hoped I hadn't made a mistake in doing so. My name is Yui Shishido. My goal is to become a teacher here at this school. I opened my eyes to find that the shadowy spirit Yoshie had stopped dead in her tracks. Did it work? Was Tsukasa's pencil keeping this vengeful soul at bay? I don't need a replacement. Just die! Suddenly, I was whisked off my feet and slammed against the ceiling. Shishido! I could see him down below. He was staring up at me and desperately leaping. He was trying to catch me, I suppose, even though he knew he'd never reach. Tsukasa! I called out to him over and over again, in my mind. If he could get away, if he could survive this ordeal, then it would all have been worth it. Yoshie was drawing near, and I was helplessly pinned to the ceiling. I had no chance at all. There was no doubt in my mind that my life was over. I clung to the relief that I felt at Tsukasa's safety. It was the only thing keeping me from losing my head entirely. Then, all at once, the situation took a complete 180. It was all like a miracle. Yoshie Shinozaki! Stop right there! Before I had any idea what was happening, I found myself bathed in a gentle light. The woman from this morning? I'm sorry I was unable to protect you, but now at least the evil will spread no farther. Is she a good guy, then? It was the old woman who had collapsed in front of my house. She was standing down below me, enveloped in a warm glow. Whoa! The black shadow lunged toward her. Then there was a horrific noise, and the old woman was gone. Shishido! And just like that, I fell to the ground. Whatever Yoshie had done to me, the old woman must have nullified it. And that must have been why she came to me this morning, and why she had come again now. I felt like I was going to faint. Tsukasa ran to my side and gently scooped me off the ground into his arms. Yoshie's spirit was gone. She'd vanished along with the light. Around us now, the only sound was the pitter-patter of raindrops on the school roof. Hey, Shishido! Shishido? Tsukasa? I'd suffered quite a bump on the head from my fall and was decidedly disoriented. But I still had enough sense to put my arms around Tsukasa's neck. You idiot! Didn't I tell you not to run away? I'm sorry, it's just... I wanted to protect you. I couldn't bear the thought of losing you, is what I wanted to say. But instead, I just passed out in his arms. I think I did it. I felt as though I was waking from a long, horrible dream. Hey, you okay? Hey! Shishido? Where are we? Man, how hard a fall was that? We're in the nurse's office, can't you tell? The nurse's office? It occurred to me to look at my surroundings. Probably something I should have done before asking about them, but in my defense, I was out cold. Beige walls, pink curtains, white beds with solid blue covers. This was indeed the school infirmary. No doubt about it. Why are you... A better question is why you're here. I found you passed out on the ground out there, so I carried you in. Out where exactly? Jeez, did you get a concussion or something? It was right by the school gate. The school gate? That's where you found me? Uh-huh. Ring any bells. But I was trapped inside the school and running from Yoshie, wasn't I? Oh, that's right, my arm. It's probably broken. Wait, my arm's okay? It was a dream, except it also wasn't a dream, I'd assume. Huh? Your arm? Was it a dream? No, it couldn't have been. I mean, it really hurt, and I really thought I was going to die. Well, you're still a little out of sorts, but I'm glad you're safe at any rate. I guess you could say I had a gut feeling, maybe. I just got concerned and stopped by your house. And your mom told me you'd gone back to school, so I came back by to find you, and, well, I found you. Tsukasa, Yes, there'll be time for thanks and such later on. Right now, there's something I've got to do, so hang on a sec. Okay. Where are you going, Tsukasa? I wanted to ask you about Yoshie. School nurse. Oh, Shishido, glad to see you're awake. Ma'am! He gave us both quite a scare. Mikuni was pale as a ghost when he came to get me. Lucky for you, I was working late tonight. I'm so sorry to have troubled you. It's fine, of course. But you know, you were really moaning in your sleep. Were you having nightmares? Nightmares? It seemed like you were. Mikuni was worried sick about you. So it really was just a nightmare then. Maybe that scary story this afternoon was just too much for me. Are you feeling a little better now, at least? Yeah. That's good. The nurse smiled cheerfully and disappeared behind the partitioning curtain. Letting out a sigh, I laid myself down on the bed once more. It was dead silent. The rain must have let up. The only sound I heard was an occasional cough from the nurse, who was otherwise going about her business quietly. Oh, wait. What about the pen case? I thrust my hands into my pockets, not really expecting to find it, but... There it is. The pen case, complete with Tsukasa's pencil talisman inside, was present and accounted for, which meant that I made it to my classroom. Maybe it wasn't a dream after all. Hey! Huh? Oh, Tsukasa! Welcome back. Huh? I was still trying to remember exact details about what happened when I unexpectedly felt something cold pressed against my cheek. What are you... You were sleeping pretty restlessly, you know? And sweating an awful lot, so I figured you might be thirsty. Here. It's a cafe au latte. Oh, thank you! Tsukasa went out of his way to buy this just for me. It was a lovely gesture. How could I possibly refuse? Hey, isn't tomorrow... Or, I guess it's today now. But either way, don't you have an entrance exam to take? What time does it start? At 9. So in 4 hours, then. Oh, Jesus. God, I don't even want to think about that right now. Not after the day I just had. I'd been put through hell on earth. Taking a test was the furthest thing from my mind. I was in tears, and I had no idea why. Maybe it was because I was so relieved. So glad to be alive. Okay. Hey, Shishido, can you stand? Huh? The timing's just right, so I'm going to show you something good. Something good? Yeah, or rather, it's something I really want you to see, if you're up for it. Sure, I guess. My nose was still running, but my heart felt a lot lighter. I no longer felt threatened by this school. I was comfortable and safe. The two of us left the nurse's office, with Tsukasa in the lead, and even though I was holding a cold coffee in my hand, I still felt warm all over. Neither of us said a thing as he led me through the empty halls. It occurred to me that when we last saw one another, I was mad at him. Look, Shishido, we're here. What? Isn't this just the walkway between the buildings? Just wait, you'll see it in a minute. See what? I had no idea what I was looking for. I just kept staring at him, but his eyes were fixed on the window leading out into the walkway. As I gazed upon him in profile, I felt my heart skip a beat. I have to apologize for what happened yesterday. But I just wasn't sure what to say. I'd let my feelings get the better of me, and reprimanded him for behavior that was, at least at the time, entirely reasonable. There was more to it than that, though. There was one particular reason, more than any other, that made it hard for me to think of the words to say here. He and I had run from Yoshie together. We escaped her wrath against insurmountable odds. And what if that wasn't all just a dream? Bingo! Here we go! Huh? I followed Tsukasa's pointing finger and... Aw. Whoa, that's beautiful! What an absolutely stunning sunrise! It's actually the sunset I enjoy watching most from here, but the sunrise is pretty great too. It's gorgeous. The whole town is painted orange. Looks like you're back in good spirits again. This is the place that you were talking about, isn't it? Oh, yeah, it is. You've been keeping this spot from me all this time, so why now? Why are you showing it to me today? No reason, really. No reason, huh? I could think of a reason, but I didn't say anything. It just seemed kinda far-fetched to me, and if I were misinterpreting him, I'd be very embarrassed. He couldn't possibly... Could he? My face felt kind of warm. I placed a sweaty cafe au lait can on my cheek and sighed softly. You feeling okay? Your face is really red. What? It is? You aren't still feeling faint, are you? No, nothing like that. It's just... Yeah, it's the sun. Just the way the light's playing off of my skin, that's all. Oh, okay. Boys can be so dense sometimes. Good luck on the exam, by the way. That's Tsukasa, never mind. Good luck on the exam, by the way. If you head back now and get ready, you should still be able to make it. Thank you. That's what I like about you, Tsukasa. Huh? Also, I'm sorry. For what? Well, it's just that yesterday, things might have seemed a little awkward between us. After talking about that school legend, remember? Oh, yeah, I think I remember something like that. What do you mean, something like that? I was really bothered by it, you know? You girls obsess over the littlest things sometimes. Me, I didn't think anything of it. Really now? I let out another sigh and turned back toward the morning sun, stretching my arms skyward as a sudden wave of exhaustion overcame me. The day got brighter bit by bit, and I just stood there, silently trying to piece together all the jumbled thoughts rattling around in my head. I was running away from Yoshie, and Tsukasa was with me. Then I was saved by that old woman. It really was just a dream, huh? As the bright rays of the sun washed over me, I felt new life and new hope welling up from within, and I finally came to terms with those horrid events. Most likely I got the pen case without incident, but then on my way back, something hit my head and knocked me out. That would be just my luck. Oh, hey, Shishido. Don't move. Huh? Stay right there. Just like that. I didn't know what he was planning to do, but he was staring right at me. It felt kind of like he was staring into my soul. And then... What? Slowly, Tsukasa drew his face toward mine. Do it. Is he... Shishido. No way, is he really going to... I shut my eyes. I was ready for this. Or maybe I just didn't want to look. But the next sensation I felt wasn't quite the one I was expecting. Shishido, what happened here? Huh? He'd grabbed my arm for some reason and was staring down at it intently. What the hell? What is he doing? What is that? Seriously, I had no idea that was there. Turns out he was just concerned by the strange bruise I had apparently received, which had momentarily become visible when I raised my arms. It was right around my elbow, right where Yoshie had grabbed me in my dream. Looks like it hurts. Doesn't hurt at all, actually, but... But what? Never mind, it's nothing. Giving a wry smile, I gently pulled my arm from his grip. Hey, Tsukasa? Yeah? Before we go home, I have a favor to ask you. What is it? Would you mind if we held hands? You already are. Held hands? Yeah, just for a little. Or is that asking too much? When he asked why I wanted to do this, I fed him his own line. I just told him no reason. We only joined fingertips, but for the first time, it really felt like I was connected to another person's heart. I remember feeling so happy. Oh, great. Back to reality. Hey, Miss Yui? Miss Yui! Tsukasa? Miss Yui, please! Hmm? I knew I'd heard that voice before, but who was it? Was I just dreaming again? I still felt like I was holding Tsukasa's hand, though. Miss Yui, your hand! Your hand! What? Good, you're awake. Huh, what? Mochida? That's right, it's Satoshi Mochida. I was still dazed. I had no idea what was going on. All I knew was that one of my students, Satoshi Mochida, was here, and he looked concerned. Miss Yui, your hand is... What? Oh my! I finally realized what he was talking about. I was holding Mochida's hand in my own, well, more... not really, and squeezing it awfully tightly. Excuse me, please, I'm so sorry. Oh, she's got a bruise on her arm. It's no problem, though I have to say, you have a really strong grip, Miss Yui. Do I now? In the past, I was renowned far and wide for being a weak and dainty young beauty, you know. How exactly do I respond to that? Well, you could say something nice. Mochida was a good student. He and I got along well, and we were already falling back into our usual pattern of good-natured ribbing, except... Wait a minute, why are you here, Mochida? Well, that's... I told you earlier, didn't I? I guess I shouldn't be surprised if you don't remember anything. What am I supposed to remember exactly? A little while ago, you ate some porridge and I made and took medicine before passing out again. I told you everything then. You did? Have you seriously forgotten all that? Completely. Don't laugh, jeez. Mochida sighed and pointed at the table. Class notes from Mr. Yamazaki. Wait, did you come all this way just to deliver those? Yeah, and when I did, you were in a pretty bad way, so I made you some porridge. Oh, but don't worry, I had permission. Monet said I could borrow your kitchen. Monet did he? I stroked Monet's neck and he lied down contentedly on my futon. Such a pretty kitty. I was getting kind of wrapped up in petting him, as I often did. I almost forgot Mochida was here until he let out a huge sigh. Also, Miss Yui, leaving your front door unlocked is really dangerous. Oh, was it open? Yeah, and you're lucky I was the one to discover that. You really need to be more careful. Duly noted, thanks. Did I say something funny? No, you just sound like my mother. Yikes, I don't think I like the implications there. I didn't mean to laugh. I must have seemed kind of deranged, but I could always blame it on the fever. Mochida looked at me and let out another sigh. My poor sense of humor must have been getting to him. Well, you sure seem a lot better now than you were when I got here, so that's something. I feel better, too. You slept like a rock, Miss Yui. That's right. I woke up this morning feeling sicky, feeling dizzy and chilled. I called in sick, put out food for Monet, and I don't remember a thing after that. Oh? You don't remember going to the convenience store? The convenience store? Yeah, I found cold packs and snacks. Let's see. Here, look. The time on the receipt. It was this morning. Wow, you're right. How can you possibly not remember going to the store? Amazing. That's just... Seriously, you need to pull yourself together. You didn't go out in your pajamas or anything, did you? Well, I don't think I did. I wouldn't be surprised. Don't try and hide behind that laugh. Sorry. Were you taking care of me this whole time, Mochida? Uh-huh. Wow, I'm really sorry you had to stay this late. It was already past 10 o'clock in the evening. Jesus, man. I couldn't believe Mochida had been with me this whole time. I felt both guilty and grateful, and I definitely gained a new respect for him. There's still a little porridge left, if you get hungry. Thanks. And I bought these too. You went to the supermarket? There wasn't anything in the fridge when I checked, so I figured I might as well. Ah. The bag was quite heavy. Inside it was a bottle of orange juice, some bananas, canned peaches, apples, and other assorted fruits. That's... vitamins. When you're as sick as you were, your body needs all the help it can get to fight back. Think of it like medicine. Mochida. That much fruit couldn't have come cheap, especially for a high schooler. I considered offering to pay him back, but decided against it. I knew he wouldn't take my money, and besides, I really appreciated the fact that he'd gone to all this trouble for me. I'd return the favor another time. If it ever seemed like he was going to be staying late after school, maybe I'd buy him dinner. Or I could help him with preparations for the school festival. Ding, ding, ding! Well, it's getting late. I should go. Oh, will you be okay? Do you know your way back? If you'd like, I can take you at least part of the way. It's fine. Just go back to sleep, Miss Yui. You're not better just yet, and besides, it isn't safe for a woman to walk alone at night. Oh, you're such a sweetie. Seeing how much you care just makes my heart skip a beat. Oh, does it now? I'm not sure you should be saying something like that to me, Miss Yui. Huh? Why not? Mochida and I joked like this a lot. Usually it made him blush and get adorably embarrassed. But not today. Today he just grinned sheepishly with a mischievous glint in his eyes. I didn't quite get it. What was his angle? Who's Tsukasa, Miss Yui? Is he your boyfriend? How do you... You kept calling his name in your sleep. Tsukasa, Tsukasa, you cried, lost in some sort of wonderful dream. What? So, who is he? That crafty Mochida had turned the tables on me. And how embarrassing to know that I'd been calling Tsukasa's name. Well... I hesitated to answer for a moment, but then figured, what the hell, why not? Tsukasa was my first love. Oh? Judging by your actions earlier, you must have been seriously head over heels for him. What? Why? Well, when I got here, you thought I was Tsukasa. It was unbelievable. Wait, what are you saying? Miss Yui, your face is beet red. That's just my fever, I swear. Mm-hmm. Well, that's fine. I'll let you believe whatever you want to believe. Oh, come on. Whatever happened to respecting your elders? You shouldn't mess with adults. But you're in rare form today. We never get to see you like this. I wasn't sure he was ever going to give me the full story of all the embarrassing things I'd done in my fevered days. And maybe it was better he didn't. Oh yeah, it is better he didn't. Either way, I was in his debt, so he could tease me all he wanted, just this once. Oh, crap! I have to get going! Yuka's going to be really angry with me. Thanks for everything. It's dark out, so please be careful on your way home. No worries. And Miss Yui, you be sure to eat right and get better ASAP. You hear me? Of course, I'll kick this in no time. Fight the good fight. Thanks. What a good kid, that Mochida. I'd better be careful, though. He is my student, after all. Come here, Monet. You sleep with Mommy tonight. I miss you, Tsukasa. So whatever happened to him? Oh, nope, that's just the end. Chapter 3, Encounter, a chronicle of past events. Chapter 3, Queer, we did it. There were no name tags because there was no searching, so that's good to know. Chapter 4, Purgatory, is now playable. Oh, great. Oh, we got 3 of these? Hiro Shimono, Miyuki Sawashiro, Nobuhiko Okamoto, Soulful Testimonies unlocked in bonus menu. Great. Probably Shishido, Satoshi, and I don't even know. Probably Tsukasa. Achievement unlocked, Fever Dreams. I guess so. Because she had a fever and was having dreams too, so whoop-de-doo. Okay, now we check the Soulful Testimonies. Yep. So, Satoshi, Shishido, and... Yep, oh, he's the last one on the list. So I guess he was the one that wasn't one of the, Byakudan students. Assuming these are all Byakudan students. Because that is probably Okawa, I'd assume. That's Kazami. No idea. That's Fukuroi. Is that Gamer? That's probably Gamer, dude. Or, no, that's Kurosaki. No idea who that would be. That's probably Mitsuki. No idea. No idea. And no idea. So that's great. Alright, let's start with Satoshi's then. Hello, and thanks for your support. This is Hiro Shimono, voice of Satoshi Mochida. Okay, cool. So, where to begin? What we've got here is the sequel to Corpse Party Blood-Covered Repeated Fear, e.d. Japanese name for first PSP game. That's a long title, holy shit. Or I guess it would be better to say it's the second chapter. Either way, thanks for playing Corpse Party Book of Shadows. You're welcome, even though I'm not even halfway done with it. And then there's gonna be bonus episodes. So just now I just finished up with my part of the recording. Okay, yes. And so I wish it was just in text boxes so I could continue. My part was a little separate from the main story, taking place before the events of the first title. So do you not have a chapter later on? That's surprising, since you're the one who knows what's going on, and it was all about Miss Yui and I. Well, how can I put it? It was like that faint sensation you get, you know, that little blushing, that sense of kind of an awkward embarrassment, I guess you could say. Yeah, I would assume so. And so, dog bark. Not that it actually amounted to anything, of course, but, you know. In this chapter, Miss Yui catches a cold and Satoshi has to take care of her. As you hear a dog barking in the background at nothing. Though really, Corpse Party is overall a lot scarier than that. I wouldn't say this game is particularly scary. It's more just the lore. Kinda leaves you feeling kinda jittery. But then I get scared just reading fan letters, to be totally honest. I guess some of you turned out the lights after just the opening scene of the first game. But to me, that would be really unnerving. Well, this time around, my part of the story with Miss Yui isn't like that at all. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, she got beheaded and crushed, but nothing happened to you. It has more to do with things like the appearance of a new character and such. Yeah, and I'm not sure what his overall importance is. But, well, I think pretty much anyone can handle that chapter without getting too horribly frightened or anything. I'm gonna be honest, it was scarier than the first two, but it still wasn't scary. Though you probably know that already, since this recording isn't available unless you cleared a game or something, I'd assume. So I guess those of you listening to this must have put a lot of effort into it. Not really. Some of you probably kept playing even though you were scared, and others just had fun the whole time. Yeah, it was fun, that's for sure. Whichever you happen to be, you did a great job. And this is a long, thing. You're the best. What am I saying? In any case, I'm assuming some of you have only played through the game once, right? Yeah, go back and get the wrong ends, losers. Continue. Well, if that's the case for you, I'd like to note that this is a game you can easily play over and over again. Maybe you're someone who's already done that. But if not, if you're the sort of person who's easily frightened and thought to yourself, this is scary, well, why not try playing with a friend? Anyway, that about wraps things up for me. I wonder if we'll be able to meet again. But we'll never forget each other. Is that it? Wouldn't that be nice? I'd really love to keep going. I think there are more Corpse Party games. I've had a lot of fun, and I hope you're having fun as well. This is Hiro Shimono, voice of Satoshi Mochida. Bye-bye! Alright, cool. Now for Shishido's. Nice work, this is Miyuki Sawashiro, voice of Yui Shishido. So, what did you think of my chapter? Was it fun? I guess. I don't think I'll be playing it personally. Yeah, you probably had to voice all that shit. Or rather, I don't think I'll be able to bring myself to play it. Actually, I have a question. During what time of day are you playing this? Are you playing at night? It is not even 3 p.m. I kind of hope so, because if you're playing while the sun is shining, well, that's just no fun at all, right? Playing at night while looking over your shoulder must be a pretty cool experience. Shut up! But I still don't think I could do it. You understand where I'm coming from here, right? Yeah, I get it. Atmosphere and all that. Honestly, though, I really like school settings, be they frightening or fun. I suppose so. It was cool to imagine myself running down the hall or stomping down a dark stairwell all by myself, hearing my footsteps echo back. Yeah, sure. I could almost smell it. It was so vivid, and it's been a long time since I've last experienced those sensations. I'd love to perform in a school setting again, though next time maybe it can be a little less creepy. Yeah, I guess. And so, thanks very much. Oh, that was it. That was quick. And then him. Hello, and good job on completing the chapter. This is Nobuhiko Okamoto, voice of Tsukasa. Well, voice recording is just wrapped up. And you know what? Tsukasa is just a really cool guy. He is. An invigorating dude. He's amazing. Not sure how important he is. It's kind of silly, but well, I want you to like him. I'm sure the voice probably would have helped, but, you know. I really hope that came through in my performance. I really hope he seemed just as friendly and approachable to you as he did to me. He's such a stud. And to my surprise, I really felt like I was sharing his horror during the recording. Like I could feel it myself. Yeah, I'd assume so. When I received the script, I read it naturally, like a player would. Okay. Let me tell you, it was terrifying. That person, well, I guess, not really a person anymore, I guess, huh? That monster was just, well, really freaky. Oh, Tsukasa calls it a monster, so I'm doing the same. Yep. There sure are a lot of deaths again this time around. Do any of them affect you? I doubt it. Don't know if I should talk about any of them here, though. But it's incredible that Mr. Kadoin, ED creator of Corpse Party, was able to think up so many horrific ways to die. No kidding. That man's got a lot of time on his hands to think of that many wrong ends. See, personally, I really love works of horror. Yeah, I'd imagine. And I'm pretty desensitized at this point. I've seen my share of shocking scenes. Yep. But when I was reading the script last night, it seriously sent shivers down my spine. The whole time, I swear I could hear every little sound of the house settling. That's probably gotta suck. And so, and I constantly felt like there was a presence in the room. Oh man, it was really spooky. Really. If you all support the character, I think there's a real possibility it could happen too. So I hope you'll give me another chance. I'd love the chance to voice Tsukasa again in another installment of Corpse Party. Maybe older Tsukasa. Maybe that's what his importance is. Recording was seriously a lot of fun. Thanks for playing. You're welcome. Okay then, so now what? Well, we finished chapter 3, so that's 3 of the 8 chapters down. We got 2 of the wrong endings this time, so does that mean there's 2 more or 3 more? I think it's 3, right? We might as well check if it could load it. Ending list. Yep, we got 2 of them, so there's 3 more. I'm still surprised I didn't get any of them in chapter 2, but whatever. There's only 1 wrong end in chapter 4, making me think this is probably going to be a short one. Might be able to finish it in 1 episode. And then we have Shangri-La, which has so many. And then the rest of them don't look bad at all. 8 is probably like 2 hours long maximum. Who knows? Either way, that's going to be it for this episode, guys. So next episode, we'll head on to chapter 4. If you liked this video, be sure to press the like button. And if you didn't like it, then fuck you too. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos and stuff. And as always, my name is Godzi, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye!